Nityanandam. I'm Manitya Bhaktikananda Swami, and I'm talking to you from Nityananda Peetam Trishulam Adinam in Chennai. I've just come out on some office work and I have some waiting time, so I thought I will record this video. I want to share something which has been working on my mind recently, which I want to talk about, which is when you get a chance to live around a living avatar, an incarnation, such as Bhagavan Paramahamsa Nityananda. There are a few fundamentals that need to be understood. First, as an incarnation, their job is not easy as we think. Most often, disciples think that their own job is tough, and for the master, for the avatar, it's all very easy because he is who he is. He's the divine himself. But actually, unfortunately, it is not so. When the avatar has to work with each one of us to put us on the path of superconscious living, to put us in the path of oneness in Sadashivatva, feeling one with the divine, it also includes removing the layers of delusion which we've collected about ourselves and literally pulverizing the pseudo identity each one of us holds, or in which we've invested so much, uh, and show us the higher identity, the higher person inside us, which is the divine itself. But we are so dearly holding on to our patterns, to our behavioral patterns, to what we think makes us our identity. If you take me, Manitya Bhaktikananda, who I think I am, I'm the goody goody person who wants to earn a good name from everybody. Whatever. I have so many things already frozen as my identity. And I'm already functioning with a few behavioral patterns, which I feel makes up me. Unfortunately, the first thing the guru has to do is to remove all that slowly and show you who you really are, who your higher being is. But what happens is when he starts keeping his hand on your patterns, see, the problem is he loves you, but he hates your patterns. But we think when he touches our pattern, he's touching us. And that's where the problem starts. Now, if I feel this mobile phone is an integral part of my flesh, and if I need to keep this phone down now on the table, how will I do it? I will never do it. I will keep thinking it's part of my flesh and I will keep moving around. It's an alien body, it is not me. But when the avatar, when the masters, incarnations, they try to take it out, you will think they're cutting your flesh and taking out a piece of you. But whereas only when they separate the cell phone and keep it on your hand, they will be able to create the gap between you and the cell phone, and you can just simply keep the cell phone away. But when they're in the process of doing it, when your cognition has not become fully mature to understand what they're doing, what you do is you close your cognition by concluding that they have cut your flesh. And what happens when you go meet people? You start telling them, oh, you go to him, he'll cut your flesh. But what was he trying to do? He was trying to remove your turn of lifetimes, which you need to throw out of you, which you feel is part of you, but which is not, and which is causing the havoc as a foreign body in you, the job of a surgeon. But what is your conclusion to others? If you go to him, he will cut your flesh. Knowing these nuances, these nitty-gritties that exist in humanity, the avatars come down again and again because they are the personification of patience, compassion, and intensity. So when all these three are at play in what you call the divine Leela, they become ultimately successful with a critical mass of people at least during their stay inside the human body on planet Earth. So what I want to impart as understanding through this video is when the incarnation works with you, wait at least a little patiently on your side. Look in, work with yourself. Read about the past incarnations who have come, how their disciples have explained what really happens with the incarnations, and allow your cognition to mature and be ready to ask a few questions, to receive a few answers, and be ready to go into deeper realms of understanding. Don't be impatient, don't be in a hurry to name it and run away. Because you don't know for how many lives you've been holding foreign parts in you which are not you, and therefore you've not touched superconsciousness or the divinity in you. So be patient, work with yourself, allow your cognition to mature in different ways, and definitely you'll see light. And definitely the avatar's mission in you will be fulfilled. They have only one agenda, the avatars, to make you see light in your life, which is to make you see oneness with the divine, with Mahasadashiva, to make you live a superconscious life. In the process, they're an ocean of patience. For our part, if we are willing to have a little patience, at least in this one birth, we know only this one birth. We don't know for how many births we've been carrying this. Only they know our whole file. We know only a few papers in that file which pertains to this birth. This is one understanding which will be very useful for you whenever you come to those areas of inadequate cognition and impatience when you want to jump out of the whole thing. I have had uh, a couple of instances in my life when I felt, yes, Swamiji is trying to do something to me, but I'm not catching it. But I'm too impatient and I don't want to trouble him further. I want to just get out. 8 years ago, I will never forget that day. I just decided, I came to a conclusion that I'm not getting it and I want to move. So in the Adinam, I'm actually going and checking. Now I want to go out without anyone's knowledge. Who's standing at the gate? It is night, maybe around 9:30, 10, and I'm going out silently towards the side gate. Suddenly, there is no one around, very surprisingly, and suddenly I am seeing Swamiji walking towards me and coming in the dark, all by himself. It never ever happens. Anywhere he is, at least one sannyasi will be around him. He never walks alone. And not only that, he's not smiling, he's not even looking at me. He has his eyes straight and he's walking past me as though I don't even exist. Suddenly I realize it is a darshan. It is a darshan, and then I turn towards the direction in which he's walking and I run behind him to see where he's going and what he's going to do. It is dark there. The Vaidya Sarovar is there. It is dark. I run behind him and he's not there. Just a few seconds, he has disappeared. It was a darshan. Just immediately after the darshan, my entire disturbance of the mind settled just instantly. The mind just settled. All I had to do was wait for that impatient moment to pass me before I take a decision in life. And he made that happen with that exclusive darshan I've had of him for the past 15 years. Never before, never after. An exclusive darshan. After that, the mind settled, and I was able to go back and rethink and go back to introspection and ask my questions around and move beyond that point to a more mature cognition and understanding in life. So, really, through this video, I want to convey to all of you, when you get a chance to live around an avatar, which is lifetimes and lifetimes of I don't know what that takes you, that makes you, gives you the opportunity to live with an avatar, an incarnation. When that happens, just hold on in those certain moments when the cognition is unstable and you're very ready to conclude that uh, some injustice is being done to you, or you're not getting an answer for your question. Wait. The moment you decide to wait and not take the hasty decision, the cosmos will shower the mature cognition in you. And that is your very journey and path itself. So this is what I wanted to convey through this video. If you have any questions on what I've just shared, please feel free to post below this video and I'll be very happy to answer you. And I invite every one of you to please come. Every Sunday there is a free program called Kalpataru at the Benguru Adinam and all the branches around. And in the Benguru Adinam, you get the third eye awakening Diksha directly from the hands of Bhagavan Paramahamsa Nityananda. The avatar comes down to give you initiation, the Diksha. One of the initiations that Swamiji gives is a third eye awakening initiation. As a human being, the purpose of your human life is to live like God on planet Earth. You need to have your third eye awakened so that you start living, manifesting powers in your life without the usual mundane struggles. And that is the purpose of the avataric mission. So come, it is a free one-day program. Enroll yourself and get your third eye awakened and see yourself living, radiating the powers of Mahasadashiva himself. Do not miss this opportunity in your life. Thank you, Nityananda.